Boris Johnson's plan to provide 20,000 new prison places by 2026 was due to be completed 5 years late and billions over budget, a scathing assessment by Whitehall's spending watchdog said yesterday. Those are the facts. Right? It was Boris Johnson's plan. He announced it. He probably did a lap of honour and claimed that he'd already achieved it, like he did with the hospitals. Those are the facts. Daily Mail manages to write 30 paragraphs today, 20 paragraphs today, without mentioning once that this failure is a failure of the last government. In fact, they bend over backwards to make it sound like it's somehow a failure of the current government. Even the claim that the early release scheme is Labour's, despite the fact that the early release scheme was introduced by the Conservatives and tweaked by the Labour government. 14 years in power, not a mention of your role in creating a situation that you're trying to pin on the door of the people who've been there for 5 months. Boris Johnson's plan. Does Boris Johnson's name appear in the newspaper where he currently writes a column? No, it doesn't. Does the word Conservative appear in the newspaper where Boris Johnson writes a column? No, it doesn't. Does the genesis, the origin, the provenance of the entire policy get a mention in the entire newspaper article? No, it doesn't. And that is why we've actually made a feature, and even now, thanks to Emily, made a sting of
missed information.
How do you do this? How do you write an article about the failure of a Tory government policy without mentioning the Tory government whose policy has failed? And indeed the Prime Minister who made a big song and dance about it. It's absolutely stunning, and it goes on all the time.